Hi, everyone, and welcome back. In our last lesson, we answered the question, what is cybersecurity? Today, I want to answer another question that many people ask before they decide to pursue a career in this field. Why cybersecurity? Why is everyone talking about cybersecurity? Why are organizations investing so much into it? And why are there so many career opportunities in this field? So let's start with something simple. Think about your day yesterday. You probably checked your bank account. You used your phone. You logged into work. You bought something online, maybe visited a doctor, or even just checked your email. Now, imagine if none of those systems worked tomorrow. The bank can process payments. The hospital cannot access patient data, patient records. The airport can't check passengers in. The school cannot access student information. You can't buy things from the supermarket. The business can't serve its customers. Technology isn't just supporting businesses anymore, it's running the business. And because organizations rely so heavily on technology, they also have to protect it. That's where cybersecurity comes in. And guess what? That's where you come in. And I'm so excited for you to join the field. Cybersecurity isn't about stopping every single attack, it's about reducing risk. It's about protecting information and helping organizations continue operating safely, whether an incident happens or not. Now, here's something I want you to remember throughout the program. Cybersecurity isn't just for technology companies. Every industry needs cybersecurity. We talked about that. We talked about industries like healthcare needing cybersecurity. We talked about banking, manufacturing, education. Think about whatever industry you've ever worked in, whether it's even government, retail, construction, whatever industry you've ever worked in needs technology and therefore needs cybersecurity. So if an organization uses computers, if they use stores, if they use information, so so if an organization uses computers or stores information or connects to the internet, which is just about everyone, they need cybersecurity. That means when you choose cybersecurity, you're not choosing one industry. Isn't that lovely? When you choose to work in this field, you're not choosing one industry, you're choosing a profession that you can take almost anywhere. Another misconception I hear all the time is that cybersecurity is only for people who love coding or want to become hackers. We've talked about that. That is not true. Cybersecurity is made out of many different roles. Some people investigate cybersecurity incidents. Some write policies. Some people train employees. And some people manage risk. All of these are important. All of these ensure that an organization stays safe and lowers their risk. So think about it. There's some people who help companies comply with regulations. Some people protect cloud environments. Some people manage user access. Some people work closely with executives to help them make better decisions. There isn't just one cybersecurity job. There is many. There are dozens of career paths that you could take. And one of our goals throughout this program is to really help you hone in on where you fit, what aligns best with your strengths and with your experience. That's why we include the Cybersecurity Role Finder as part of this program. It is not just a quiz, it's a tool designed to help you stop guessing and start focusing on roles that actually fit you. Now, I want to leave you with something that I think is really, really important. Many people think that by starting this program, they're starting from zero because they've never worked in cybersecurity. I want to tell you now that that's not true. If you've worked in healthcare, if you've worked in, so let's start with healthcare. If you worked in healthcare, you've protected confidential information. That's really important. If you've managed projects, if you've managed risk and coordinated people, that's important in cybersecurity. If you've been a supervisor, you've communicated, you've solved problems, and you've made decisions. That's important and needed in cybersecurity. If you've worked in customer service, you have built trust and you've handled difficult situations. We need that in cybersecurity. Those experiences matter. You're not starting over. You're building on everything that you've already done and everything that you've already learned. Throughout this program, we're going to help you translate those experiences into language that employers actually understand in this field. Because employers aren't just hiring cybersecurity knowledge, they're hiring people. They're hiring you to solve problems, to communicate effectively, to think critically, and to help protect their organizations from data breaches. So today I want you to remember three things. First, every organization needs cybersecurity, so you should never be out of a job. Second, cybersecurity is much broader than most people realize. And third, your previous experience is an advantage, not something that you leave behind. So you transitioning is nothing to be ashamed of. You're bringing in every experience that you've ever gotten. So here's your action for this lesson. Oh, I like that. Your action for this lesson. I want you to spend about 15 minutes reflecting on the three questions that I'm about to give you. First, think about your current or your previous job. What are 5 skills you use every day that could be valuable in cybersecurity? Write those down. The second thing is think about an organization that you know very well. What information or systems would they need to protect if they experienced a cyber attack? The third thing is to review your cybersecurity role finder results. You should have already done your cybersecurity role finder quiz. Which 2 roles stand out the most to you and why? Please post in the chat and talk about which roles align with your experience and why. Talk about what you're seeing as the responsibilities of that job. So start to do some research and start to see why that aligns with who you are. And let's all post in the chat and start talking about which cybersecurity roles we are going for. See you in the next video.